So I just lit my wood stove fire in my house, and this is the amount of smoke that's coming out initially as it fires up. In a couple of minutes, it's going to be burning totally clean. I'm going to fast forward here and you'll be able to see, or you won't even see any smoke. It's because of the way I burn my fire in my stove. If you keep the air vent open and you use good dry wood and you split it properly and have a good fire going, it'll burn really clean in a couple of minutes, and you won't even see any smoke. It'll just be heat waves coming out. It's already getting cleaner right now. It's getting cleaner as I speak. And I've only been holding this camera for exactly 1 minute. The reason why they're having all these problems with wood stoves is because people aren't burning their stoves properly. First of all, they're using the wrong kind of stoves. They're not designed properly. The new air quality control approved stoves most of them are very inefficient and don't burn wood properly. The old design stoves with a good air vent are much more efficient and burn cleaner when they're used properly. People need to understand the use of the fire triangle: fuel, heat, and most importantly, oxygen. And you have to basically have some common sense in that, and you can have a totally clean burning fire where you can't even see any smoke. Just heat waves coming out. It's only been 2 minutes and it's already burning really clean. In a couple more minutes, you won't even see, it'll be hard to see the heat waves even. Here's my little wood stove. It's a rectangular Franklin style stove with the door on the end. So it's like a rectangle and the door is on the small end of the rectangle. And I've got it burning really, I got the coals going really good in there, and I just lit this thing up. I keep the air vent open, wide open. I want maximum airflow. I don't put a damper in the pipe. That's a bad idea. That was one bad idea that you didn't really need in the old days. Keep the fire burning hot. And what I built around the edges of the stove are a heat absorbing mass. And it's simple. I didn't make a fancy one. If I had a lot of money, I'd make one with all soapstone, or I'd cover this, sheath this block in soapstone. This is just block stacked. I didn't even use any mud. Didn't even use any concrete. And then I put red brick on it, and it absorbs the heat mass. It absorbs the heat with the mass, and it keeps the room from getting too hot too quickly. So it makes it have a softer heat, a more enduring heat. It's really simple. Just the concept. I walk around my neighborhood and I see all these people with wood stoves that are smoldering. They're all smoldering and they're putting up tons of smoke in the air all day long. Mine put out smoke for about 2 minutes. Just heat waves coming out. It's burning real clean. See, there's no reason to fill the neighborhood with smoke. People just need to learn how to use their wood stoves properly. But the government wants to ban wood stoves here in California. They don't want anybody to have them. And the problem isn't the wood stoves or the fireplaces, it's just people don't understand how to use first of all, basic fireplaces are worthless. They suck most of the heat out of the room up the chimney. A wood stove is way more efficient. Not only that, you can cook on it. They're smaller. They put out more heat. They don't require as much wood. You save on your wood consumption. They take up less room in your house. I think they're safer because they have a door that shuts on them instead of having this open fireplace where coals could spill out on the floor. And you can get them to burn real clean. They want to ban wood stoves, but what they need to do is educate people to how to use their stoves properly, and they need to ban stupid use of wood burning sources. That's what they need to do, is ban the unintelligent, illogical use of wood stoves, because that's the problem. It's not wood stoves that are the problem, it's people's lack of common sense that's the problem. That's the problem. So yeah, here's my rectangular wood stove. It can take up to 22-inch long wood, no problem. And the rectangular shape is really efficient. It causes the air to flow lengthwise over the wood, so you get an efficient airflow across the entire length of the fuel. And another thing I wanted to mention was that when you burn your wood stove with maximum combustion, you get a cleaner burn, and it also keeps the chimney clean. I almost never need to clean my chimney. Other people have problems all the time with soot, which is not only clogging their chimney, but it's also a fire hazard. I don't have that problem. If you're building a fire, you're building a fire to have a fire, and a fire needs to burn clean. And a clean burning fire needs oxygen, so you keep the air vent open. If I turn it down like that, that's closed. I keep it open all the time. And some people I know, they'll say, well, I want to make my wood last a long time. Yeah, and you'll sit there and you'll smolder the whole neighborhood. You know what, if my fire goes out, this holds in the heat for a long time. I'll just fire up another fire later on, and I'll have a clean, efficient, hot burning fire. And, you know, the room might cool down a little bit. I'll just fire it up. I keep kindling split all the time. I got plenty of kindling. And you don't need to be all inefficient and have a smoking fire that smokes up the whole neighborhood. Burn a nice hot fire, keep it going. It's just common sense. The three things you need for a fire, the fire triangle: heat, fuel, and oxygen, or air. Get the air flowing in there.